know
not just
exactly
that,
what
right?
was on the TST. I don't even
point-
know what was on the TST.
But the point is, like, he needs to provide something that isn't on the TST, at least like nominally.
Well, look,
did the
I
TST say
don't
that-
know what is or isn't on the TST. I watched 10 minutes of it. It's an hour and a half. I have no idea
Well,
what
people
is.
have watched it, so they could verify whether or not anything you're.
Look, I mean, has G Plus been nuked? I could find. Maybe I could
Just go
find the
find
private
the
conversation. If
TST.
G Plus hasn't been nuked, I'll find the private conversation and just blot out all of their name and stuff. I'll
Hey,
just
there
show
we
you
go.
that.
That'd be-
Yeah,
It was
that's
a
fine.
real genuine message, and you can look by the timestamps that it happened pretty close around that TST and that drama. So I mean, has G Plus been nuked? Is there any way I can show you that? Because I fucking will. I'll do it right now.
I mean, I don't know. You'd have to look.
It's nuked.
Look, Hannah said that it was 95%
Too
inaccurate.
bad. It's unfortunate
right?
that it's nuked because I would have
Exactly.
just been able to prove you wrong.
What
that
he
means
said
that means at least
transpired.
95% of the details are not in the TST.
Ah, good point.
Mm.
Fred never slapped me, Benno. What the fuck? Who the fuck is saying that? He never hit me.
I think that was G-Man dumbass saying that.
No. But look,
G-Man. Yeah,
Look,
he's
look,
the
let's
pinnacle
get back
of
on the
truth
original
and
subject.
power.
I accuse you of being submissive and docile, and I gave as evidence that most of your friends had alleged that your boyfriend was heavily controlling you. So
Okay,
that's
so
going to be
controlling
evidence. That's
and
going to be
manipulative.
evidence that you're submissive and docile,
And you
because
submitted
that's the
evidence
type of
that was
personality trait
hearsay
that's
from
actually
somebody that
way
you
more
can't name
correlated.
from events that didn't happen. Right.
Well, the point is like they have this story, whether it's true or not, and he's using this as like evidence for his like claim, right?
Mm.
So given like the story where like all this stuff happens, but also given like your personality and every other
She
non-hearsay
isn't
thing.
just it. I said this to Hannah. Is it true that all of your friends had alleged that he was controlling you? She said, yes, that's true. So she's not disputing that. Let's just touch that claim right there.
No,
That
that's not
claim
what I'm
right
saying.
there.
Is, like,
The
thing
fact that it's true that all of her friends thought that he was controlling her is evidence that she's docile and submissive.
Why?
Because docile people and submissive people are the type of people that are able to be controlled better, more so than the people
that
that
just
aren't.
means they're more so able to be controlled, not that
Yeah,
like.
that just means that they're
They are.
correlated. That just means that they're
that's fine.
correlated, which means that that's evidence. If she has this trait and they're correlated, it's evidence that
That
she
seems
has
like a
that
weak
trait.
inference to me.
Yeah, come.
Think about like this. If
you can't-
most
you
white
can't-
people, if most white people write with their right hand, and
Oh
he's
my
white,
goodness.
he's likely to write with his right hand. It's something of an inference of that nature.
That's a tautology.
No, that's not.
What does it even
That's
mean to
not
be
a tautology.
controlling of someone who's
If
like
most
dominant?
people
Doesn't make any
write
sense.
with their right hand, and he's a white person, he's likely to write with his right hand. That is not a fucking tautology, dumbass.
If most people write with their right hand, and this person is part of most people.
It's
more
modus
likely-
ponens. You're
Yeah.
just saying modus
I know.
ponens is tautological.
He's so dumb. It's not tautological. Tautologies are things that are necessarily true, impossible to be false, and true in every possible world. That's what a tautology is. What I said is not a tautology. What I said is a modus ponens
Deductive
argument.
arguments are
What I
tautologies
said.
then. If that's what, hold on.
No.
If that's what a tautology, all deductive arguments are tautologies.
No, it's
No, that's not the only. That's not. It's necessary, but not sufficient.
That's the only criteria he gave.
That's
I
not.
don't think that is.
No,
either,
that's not what I'm saying, right? If you say most people wipe with their right hand, and this person wipes with their right hand because most people wipe with their right hand.
No, that's not what I said. I said most white people, white Caucasian people, write with their right hand. He is a white person, therefore he is likely to write with his right hand. That's what I'm saying. So here, let me put the inferences. Let me put the inferences in the proper context. Docile and submissive people are more likely to be controlled. Or I mean, hold on. People who are controlled are more likely to be docile and submissive. She was controlled, therefore she's likely to be docile and submissive.
Right, but then you're not saying that
Motherfucker,
she is.
Is that a tautology? Is that a fucking tautology, dumbass?
See, you clarified it, so now it's just vacuous. The point I'm saying here is
that's not vacuous. That's
look,
not even what vacuous means.
Look, if you're saying that she's likely to be controlled because of these factors, and then you end up with, well, she's likely to be controlled because of these factors, and you're not saying she is controlled because of these factors, then
In
you're
order
just
for it to be
restating the
vacuous, the predicate concept would have to be contained in the subject. Okay, let me give you an example. A bachelor is an unmarried man. That's vacuous because we already the information of the subject was already contained in the predicate and vice versa. That's why it's vacuous. It's the no added information rule. Okay, no new information has been added. It's vacuous. Okay. Now what I'm saying is not vacuous. Okay, it doesn't meet that criterion. What I've said is that docile and submissive people are more likely to be controlled. Okay.
And you said because she's docile and likely, she's more likely to be controlled. Well, how's that? How is that?
That's like Socrates. That's not vacuous. That's like me. Like this is just modus ponens. Like yeah, dude.
Right.
It's like if it's the case.
It's a tautology. It's vacuous.
No, look.
It's begging the question. He's just gonna throw everything out there and be wrong about all.
Look, what Socrates, the mistake that Socrates did is that I think he was just confused about, like somehow he thought that docile meant easily controllable or something. Probably that's what I'm interpreting.
Is that not what he means by docile?
Even if it's
no,
easily
of course
controllable.
not. I mean, you're
but
wrong.
Even if it doesn't mean that they're
and,
more
kind of like weird for believing, like for thinking that. But you know,
Jovan's about to destroy Shamos here because go ahead.
Docile just means like.
I thought he was about to destroy Socrates.
Yeah, I was actually It's going to be against Socrates because docile does not. Even if it were to mean they're more like the easily controllable, that does not mean that it's more likely. It's not necessarily entailed. There could be possible worlds where there are situations where docile people are not more likely to be controlled.
Well, when you say more likely, you're just saying the majority of blank he has his property.
The point is that the one is not entailed in the other.
Well, all right. Premise one: docile people are likely to be controlled, right? And by
then premise two is Hannah is docile. The premise two would be Hannah is docile.
It would be affirming the consequent. You can't frame it that way, or it would be affirming the consequent. You have to say people who are controlled are docile and submit. I mean, people who are submissive and controlled are. I mean, people who are docile and submissive are easily to be controlled. She's docile and submissive, therefore she's easily controlled.
Yeah, but there's a flaw in reason, right?
Oh, my bad. No. I'm mistake because we were trying to prove that her being controlled showed that she was docile. And
submissive. That's where.
Yes.
So it would be people who are easily to people who are controllable are more likely to be docile and submissive or something like that.
Yeah, but that's not what the. So you're saying that because people that are docile are more likely to be controlled, there's no way you can turn that statement into someone who's controlled is more likely to be docile than not. It doesn't follow.
It's not making some kind of necessary claim.
Yeah, that'd be affirmative claim
about the likely.
More likely isn't a necessary claim. But
what does it even mean for someone to be controlling of a dominant person? I don't even understand what I mean. What is it really? What are you guys arguing about?
Well, a dominant type personality, right? You could have a dominant personality.
Look, this is what was under dispute, Tom, and you're going to laugh because how silly this is. I said, look, she's been easily controlled. No, I said there's evidence that her friends thought that she was being heavily controlled in the relationship, and I said that's evidence that she's docile and submissive because docile and submissive people are more easily to be controlled. And he said, what's the evidence for that? What's the reason to think that's true?
Just beyond the pale, then. I mean, I can.
But apparently, I mean, at least to this.
I mean, you guys have heard Red's rhetoric before, right? Any one of you here actually think that like Hannah was calling the shots in the relationship where it was even an even split? Come on.
I don't know who this guy is.
Well, that's pretty.
He's garbage.
He's not really. He's not great. He wastes his time.
He's like really spastic, excitable type of person.
He's a dummy.
Super fast. He's very spastic. He gets high energy like me, except for he's not as inflammatory as I am.
He's very domineering and controlling.
He's not. I mean, controlling is a different story, but
you don't think Red's is domineering?
It's all an act. It's actually an act. Like if you were to meet him one-on-one, it is almost a 180. Like he would be submissive towards you.
It could be the case, right, that 50% of people are dominant, 10% of people are submissive, and 40% of people are just indifferent and could go one way or the other. In which case, it would turn out that 80% of the people that were controlled could not be submissive. It's possible they wouldn't be submissive. So seeing someone that was controlled wouldn't imply submissiveness.
No.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is what we could take a look. What I'm saying is, think about all the people who are in controlling relationships, and we could figure out a way to give that control group, whether it's their friends think they're in a controlling relationship, they self-admit it, something like that, right? And then you do like a personality test or something like that, and then you find out here's personality rates. These people are docile, submissive. These people are more dominant. These people are egotists. These people are introverts. These people are extroverts. And then you just do mere correlations with the two, right? And so what I'm saying is, my claim is that being docile and submissive is likely to be correlated with people who are more easily able to be controlled. And what I'm saying is, I'm saying why that's true, why that's more likely to be true is, think about what Tom says. Contrast that with its polar opposite or opposite. And so in the way that, would it be more or less true if we framed it in terms of a dominant person being controlled, right? So when you think about, is it more likely that a dominant person is controlled, generally speaking, all things equal, or is it more likely that a submissive person is controlled? I think it's
I think I'm not arguing that it's more likely that a submissive person is controlled than not controlled. But what I'm saying is, you can't turn that fact into people that are controlled are likely to be submissive or docile. That doesn't follow. Like, I could say,
right, that doesn't follow, right?
Yeah, so I could say,
I agree with that.
Well, then you can't say that she's likely to be submissive or docile because she was controlled, if you agree.
That'd be affirming the consequence.
All right.
No.
I mean,
what I'm saying is, you could just frame the conditional differently than that. So you guys are presupposing something I said earlier with the if-then statement. No, you just all you have to do is presuppose that there's a connection between the two, okay? And presuppose that one's correlated. Just like ice cream sales are correlated with shark attacks, right?
Anything can be correlated with anything else.
Yeah, it's true. Everything is correlated with everything else, but we're talking about statistically significant correlations. That should have been pretty obvious.
But if all budgies are owned by people, right? I'm not sure. I'm sure that's not the case, but let's just say it was. If all budgies are owned by people, and you get a random animal and you find out it's owned by a person, that doesn't imply that it's a budgie, because many things are owned by people.
Yeah, I agree. I think what I'm positing is a biconditional relationship. In which way, like if I said P, and it is biconditional with Q, therefore P, that follows.
Right.
I think you guys are making this way too fucking complicated. I mean, when we're talking about dominant and submissive, it is in respect to two individuals in particular, right? So we're not just talking about one individual's character traits. It's relative to the other individual in the relationship, right? So when you say that someone is controlling, right, that means that the other person is submissive. Because if they weren't, the other person wouldn't be controlling, right? What is he controlling? Nothing?
So then it's vacuous for someone to identify someone as submissive outside of a certain dynamic.
Like as a general character trait.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying, Tom? Because I think that it seems like what you're saying. Like, because it's relative to somebody else, then like submissiveness is like a relational trait between two people.
Well, in this particular context, we're talking about Reds and Hannah, right? That's what I thought we were talking about. We're talking about the dynamic between two individuals, in particular Reds and Hannah, right?
No. Yeah, and Shamos wants that is true, but Shamos wants to infer from this dynamic a general character trait about Hannah, which is the submissive thing.
No. He wants to do the other way around. He's saying that since Hannah has these particular characteristics, like such as being submissive, she's going to be more likely to be the one dominated.
Well, if he's phrasing this as a biconditional, then they're both going to like entail each other. That's what it means to be a biconditional.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's both true that people who are controlled are more likely to be docile and submissive, as it's just as true that people who are submissive are more likely to be submissive and docile.
That seems to imply an identity relationship.
No, biconditional actually can only work if they're not identical.
Wait, no, because A can imply.
The point is, you can't be submissive on your own.
Like it's a trivial thing to say that A implies A and A also implies.
Just to clarify to Tom, that he brought up that Hannah was submissive and the evidence that he used for that is that she was controlled in one relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and if they're biconditionally related, that would be evident. But
So
that's like.
So then the submissive general character trait is gonna entail the relationship, right? But then I'm confused with like the Tom's characterization that submission should be characterized, but as a relationship between, as a relational characteristic between two people.
Well, you can talk about it as a general proclivity to go along with or submit to other person's lead, be docile or whatever. But we were talking about a particular context between Reds and Shamos. Oh, sorry, Reds and Hannah.
Right.
And when you say that Reds is controlling, the object of control is the other person, which is Hannah.
Right.
And if she's not submissive, I don't understand what it means to say that Reds is controlling her, right?
You can control someone who's not submissive.
But by what means? But they just happen to want to do the same thing? That's not controlling.
Well, no, you could coerce someone, even if they didn't have the proclivity towards. So you could get someone who thinks of themselves as a dominant person, and then put a gun in their face, and suddenly you're going to be out of control. But I wouldn't call them a submissive
What
person.
the fuck?
Well, actually, Tom, I like your characterization as like submissiveness as a proclivity. So one person might have a proclivity toward dominance or submission, but there could be like independent circumstances that push them away from it. Like for example,
Exactly.
say you're like a submissive or a dominant person, but maybe you're lied to and like you're undermined in some sense, and so you act as if you were submissive. Would that
I
like
think
entail
under
that you are submissive?
I think under the coerce example, we could just say they submitted to the coercion, and so like
Well,
I don't really think it gets out of Tom's
Well,
appeal at all.
is it the case that submitting is justifies being labeled as someone who's submissive? Is that the case?
Are you just asking dumbass questions now, or?
No, it's a simple question. Like, all right, maybe someone else can answer. Tom, is it if somebody like submits maybe once or twice or something? Does that mean
That's
they're
just gonna be that's just gonna be what you what comfort level you have describing a particular person, right? Is it if one person lie one time? Are they a liar? Well, that's up to you, dude.
So then, could it be the case that we're just talking past each other on like what it means to be submissive?
Or is it just you guys are being dumbasses and Hannah really is submissive with respect to her relationship with Red? I mean, maybe you guys are just like, chomping at the bit, being idiots.
Tom?
I'm sorry, say again?
Oh, do you think it's possible that we're talking past each other on what it means to be submissive?
Possible, yeah.
Okay. That's just something I wanted to clarify. All right. So
you guys will take something that almost is impossible to deny
right.
and then have a 30-minute discussion about it where we finally conclude that it's fucking retarded. Most of these discussions are prompted by Socrates asking stupid fucking questions for justification of things that are so obvious. And then we just go down the fuckery. I wish you weren't that. I mean, you don't have to be that guy. You know that, right, Socrates? You don't have to be that guy.
You make it sound like being submissive in a relationship is like some fucking cardinal sin or something. Like it's just like, oh my god, submissive to her husband.
People who are leftists
no,
like Socrates, and he deeply sympathized with feminists. So it actually is kind of like that for him.
Is it? Is that what you're objecting to?
No. I think when it comes to like oughtness, when it comes to submissive relationships, I'm just gonna like appeal to some sort of like idea of harm. All right, if you're gonna be submissive in a relationship, but it's like beneficial for you and your mental health or well-being in some sense, good, do it. As in, I don't like have care as to whether one ought be submissive or not in a relationship.
I just find it kind of like crazy as like people are like embracing ultra skepticism about whether or not like Red's rhetoric is domineering. It's just fucking ridiculous, dude.
The skepticism like I have is when I think of Hannah, like submissive isn't part of my conception of right? Do you think that? Like, when you think of Hannah, do you think a submissive person?
I think submissive, relation to Reds, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, like that part. But like, if we were to generalize as like a character trait, just like a proclivity to submit, in this case, that I still don't think that's something that Hannah, like at least again, I could be wrong, but that's not part of my conception of Hannah, and that's the reason why I'm skeptical.
I mean, it's like Danny saying that he's a bottom, but he top for the like technology, right?
Yeah.
Stupid. I mean,
but it's like if someone were to say that you're like a liar, right? My conception of you is not a person who lies, right? So if somebody were to make that claim, like, yeah, Tom's a fucking like, Tasis comes in here says you're a liar. Well, maybe not Tasis. There's other reason not to believe him, but like, say someone I don't like have that much background knowledge on said that you were a liar, I would be skeptical of that.
I don't know. You'd have to hash it out. Presumably, he would mean something that I chronically lie. Right? And it's at a level that's distinct. Also, chronically lie. White lies or
some
something.
prediction there.
There's something about me that is particularly more indicative of some sort of pattern where I do it all the time.
Right. And if someone makes that claim, I would just be skeptical.
Hey, I'm sorry to bother you guys, but can I get on no chat it?
What?
No, I'm just can I get on no chat it?
Fuck no.
Oh, I'm not gonna Tom. I'm not gonna do anything like that, man.
You mean you're not gonna do anything like the thing that you just recently did?
Tom, it was just a mistake. I've never, Tom. This is only once, man. It was just a one-time mistake. You know me. I'm not gonna do it. It was just a one-time mistake. I almost, Tom. I've been really consistent with the rule. I think I've only fucked up in VC like 2 times. I said a banned word, right? And that was just a slip of mind, right? And I've almost never have said like a bad word like that in text chat. It was only once. I'm just asking if I can get like a no chat. I won't do it again. I promise. And if you say no, I understand, but I was just asking. I'm
Yeah,
not like this
I'll
guy
no
who,
chat you tomorrow.
Oh, okay, that's fine. It's just that I'm not one of those guys who like breaks the rules constantly. I'm pretty good when it comes to following in the server. Hey Jack.
I said we ban him.
Seth, I didn't mean. Hold on, Seth. I didn't mean to, man.
Sharpen your pitchforks.
Hey Jack, are you there?
Yeah.
Did people tell you anything? Have people told you anything weird today?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
What kind of things would they tell him?
That he was
Nothing.
using Jew as a pejorative?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, calling everyone a Jew? Yeah.
Jack.
Or typing
no,
the
Jack.
N-word in chat.
No, Jack.
he
No,
doing
listen,
that?
Jack. Jack, now listen, Jack. Jack, now listen. I wasn't trying. Oh, you guys are so mean,
Yeah,
man.
listen, you
I wasn't
Jew.
even trying to use Jew as a Jack, I don't even know how to approach you. I feel so ashamed coming to you about this because I apologize to you for using Jew as a pejorative. Like, I almost never use it as pejorative. It was that
You were
young.
using it left and right tonight.
You said it at least 3 times.
Jack, you know I love you, man. I would never say anything to like offend you or like do anything like.
3 times? No,
But
he
you
was on a
would-
rant. He
you
was
would
calling
say
everyone
something
a
to
Jew.
offend
I wasn't trying to use it in that way,
But
Jack.
you did.
No, I wasn't trying to.
That's a lie.
No,
dude.
he was
Yes,
trying
you
to
are.
offend the other person. He didn't mean to offend Jack. Different guys. Come
No,
So
no.
say that he
Yuri,
wouldn't is
so
a
wait,
lie,
so
right? He
Yuri,
would.
when you said, "Oh, I called Molly a Jew to trigger her," what did you mean by that?
I didn't say that. I said I called Molly a Jew to get her to get upset. Like it was more. I couldn't control my emotions.
Yeah,
So
he
I
said
tried
he
to say
didn't
the
want to
most
trigger
It's
Jack. He wasn't
upsetting to
saying
be
it.
called a Jew.
No, I was trying to use the most derogatory word possible to show that I was like pissed off.
Jew is derogatory?
No, Jack, stop it, man. Jack, you know what I'm trying to.
Well,
I
you
didn't
had
know
already
Molly
used
was Jewish.
I'm not. You had already used the N word in text chat, so you were just gonna go for broke.
I don't even use the N word like that. It wasn't.
Oh my god, it's not like that, man. I have a black best friend. You can't do
Well,
that. To
I think this is just the brokenness of language. I mean, when you have a person who never says a cuss word, like your grandma, and then you hear her say a cuss word, it has a certain type of weight to it. You know, you're like, oh fuck, you know. And I think that Yuri, because he does never says the word, the J word or whatever. I won't use it in Jack's presence out of respect. He doesn't say the J word very often, but when he does say it, he wants it to carry significant weight. You know what I mean? And so he wanted to say something with some weight behind it to let Molly know he was upset. And he selected that word.
How is that throwing weight my way? I mean, I looked at it, I thought, well, that's really silly to call me a Jew. I mean, it's like, it's not going to offend me because I'm not like, oh my God, call me a Jew, fuck me. I mean, it was really quite silly.
Yeah, but maybe it's not about the
neither
word.
a Jew nor anti-Semitic. So the
No, but
idea
you
that
don't have
calling
to
her a
be
Jew
Jew
is
or
a
anything
bad
like
word
that,
is
or
just
you don't even have to necessarily be offended by the word generally. You could have just been offended that there's somebody who's taking a tone and using a certain type of language versus you that normally they wouldn't, and they're doing it for a certain type of reason. And like you might be upset about that.
But you guys keep saying he normally doesn't. Do you not remember that before the word was banned, he threw the N word and the F word around like nobody's business, and he has used Jew before in the past. So we're not going to sit here and play some.
I haven't. What are you talking about? No, I haven't. I've never used.
Like Daddy comes home, you know, all the brothers and sisters just start narking on each other. You know, it's ridiculous.
Hi, Yuri.
Hey, Mary Jane. I'm Jack. I just want to make it clear, by the way, that I'll never use that word again. I was upset. I know I get upset a lot, and that's no. But Jack, I swear, man, like you
What
can
if you're
literally
trying?
not.
What
You
if
can,
you're trying to explain like somebody's religion? You wouldn't call them Jewish? Like, what do you mean?
No, I won't use Jew as a pejorative. That's what I mean. I'm just saying, Jack. If you ever hear me use Jew as a pejorative, you have every right to like not respect me as a friend. I swear I'll never use the word again.
It's big of you to give
And
him that permission.
I won't say it out of sight, out of mind. I know almost never. I'm not a racist individual. You know that, Jack. I never like. I'm not going to even say it outside of mind. It was
You
just. I was
have
in
my permission to be offended.
Jack, are you there? Jack? No.
Hi, Jack. Sorry,
Jack, there's
Yuri.
naked
He
girls running down
called
down the
everyone
street.
a Jew, Mary. He was. For some reason, he thought that would be offensive. I mean, all it did was I just looked at it, I was like, how fucking childish can you be? And you a Jew! Oh, okay. Maybe.
Yuri, why did you do that?
That was bad. I know it was bad.
No, but no, not even that. But like, why did that come to your mind out of like all?
I don't know. It was just that I was really upset, and I was trying to think of like really bad words to say, you know. And
It's
I knew
funny that
You
he
know what?
calls.
I could. I mean, shit.
I was trying
could
to think of
be
really
Jewish
bad words to
somewhere down the line, which would be like, oh, okay, but you're just so immature at times, Yuri.
Well, I was trying to find like really bad words to say, and I didn't want to like offend Tom or the rules, right? Like I did
Yuri
previous.
attacks Manny for being brown when Yuri is black.
No, I don't, Jack. Why are you saying that, man? You know this is it's just a wall. Jack, why are you saying that?
It's so bizarre.
No, you know what it comes from, Jack. It's just a Walmart joke because he lives in a primitive society.
When he gets mad at Manny, he starts calling him a brown person, which is just hilarious.
It's good. I find it funny. that he goes from like tries to use anti-Jewish things. He like I think Yuri's right. He tries to choose the most offensive thing he can, like swastikas and calling people Jew and calling
I
people
would have like
Swastikas.
Next time, just yell out "How
no,
Hitler." Okay,
Jesus,
Yuri?
Yuri.
no, Lane is such a liar.
I'm lying. I can't even
You
post
have.
the
Yeah,
image
let's go to hate save him, man.
channel
We need to
chat.
go to hate save him right.
I mean,
What?
you used to always call
This
me a
wasn't
stupid
Have
bitch.
Saven. This was on your account.
Anyway,
This is
like
your
I was saying,
icon. What do
but wait,
you
hold on.
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Like, all I was saying was, Jack, is that I even forgot what I was going to say, but we can just stop talking about this. I just want to apologize.
Oh, fuck.
He just wanted to apologize to you, Jack, and make sure that you were still his favorite dad.
Swastikas.
As long as Jack isn't mad at him, he's fine.
Jack,
Doesn't want to get a
the whole
spanking from Daddy.
Hard for me to get at it, Yuri.
Jack, the whole swastika thing was bad. Me and I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you, Jack, and just listen. This is what happened. Me and Young got in a philosophical disagreement, right? And I felt like I was right. Sorry, I know that sounds bad, right? I know that sounds bad, like right from the get-go. Me and Young had a philosophical disagreement, right? And then he wouldn't hear my view, and then he muted me because he's a mod in here. And so I got upset. So I spammed his DMs and called him the F word. The F word meaning the F word for gay people, right? I just spammed that in his DMs like 100+ times. And then after that, I came back into the server and claimed that I was alt-right, and then I put on a Nazi swastika as my profile picture and stuff. And I just got upset. And what really triggered it, Jack, is because he muted me and he wouldn't let me express my philosophical view on the matter. And that's all that happened. But other than that,
So you have a problem, Yuri.
I don't have
When
a
you get,
problem.
yeah, you do. When you get
I'm
angry,
cool.
you no, see, and this is going to be part of when you do finally grow up, that you realize you can get angry and not call people Jews or post swastikas. One, because it's stupid, and two, I don't know why you would think that that would offend people, but that's you. Yeah.
He spammed Young with the word. Well, you're not allowed to
Yes,
say it
No,
in
not
here.
here.
he
Yeah.
did.
It's just hilarious.
Oh, but I remember that night because really Young was being his calm self. They were having a discussion, and fucking Yuri lost his shit. He went into chat. He was, fuck you, ban me, ban me, ban me, ban me. Oh my god, he just went fucking nutty.
This is hilarious.
Wasn't
not
this
that
what he's
funny. I
like
don't wanna-
director for Tom Unboxes too?
Yeah, that's the day I got fired that day, Jack. That was a bad.
You got fired from handing out the Watchtower?
No, Jack. I got fired from being Tom's director.
And that pissed you off?
This is
No, that
fucking
didn't piss me
hilarious,
off.
Polly. I
No,
don't
that,
know why.
no, that didn't piss me off. No,
I got
no,
upset,
that didn't.
so I started spamming the F word and it put swastikas everywhere.
That,
And I'm
no,
totally
Who
cool
does
though.
that? Who does that?
no, Molly, I didn't get upset because I got Tom removed me as director. I got removed.
Yeah, I
as
can't have
director
people
for
as
getting-
directors that are just letting loose the N word in chat.
Yeah.
That it was only one time, Tom. Jesus, I've
But
never.
no,
Yo,
it hasn't been only one time.
Yo,
You're
J-Miss,
lying.
you there?
I'm here.
Hey, I wanted to ask you can I ask you about some weird blog articles about you?
I'd rather not talk about that.
Well, I don't even think that I mean, a lot of the stuff in the article, let me just say this. Some of it doesn't even seem bad to me. So some of it I'm really scratching my head why this person thinks they have something. And I think some of it is kind of sketch. And I noticed some missing timestamps. So I don't know if this was being pieced together. So
You cut out, Tom.
Oh, sorry. I saw some missing timestamps and some stuff that to me looked kind of fucking sketch. So if you want to clear whatever that is up, I would let you do that. You're not interested in that.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, I got to hand it to you. That's some dedication to write that same word over and over again as many times as you did. You must have been on a
No, I
journey.
didn't write that over and over again, Molly. I just hit Control V, Control V.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just
lazy
copy
fuck. Lazy fuck.
See, I would. Yeah, actually, I would have been more impressed if you actually would have put in the effort to write it each time. But okay.
Well, I did have to do that for some of them because when you spam and do copy paste, Discord detects that you're spamming, and so they make you write it out individually. So I just kept writing the same thing. That's why some of them are jacked up because I was just trying to write them as fast as possible. I was in like I was in a manic.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I agree with that.
Okay.
Right. What manipulation of the room? I don't think I manipulated the room in any way.
Declan, welcome back.
Thanks.
Well, I don't think you did. I just don't know if you didn't try to.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Declan,
What are you talking
Declan, you know that you are appreciated here. I don't want I find it kind of troubling that it may be the case that you've distilled like your worth down to that one thing. I don't.
Well, Tom, you got to look at it from my perspective. From my perspective, I don't even want to bring this up because, I mean, let's just say I'm not even going to mention names. Okay, there were certain people in this community in which almost the exact same thing happened. Okay, and there was and I don't even like approaching this because I feel like it's immature to approach it this way. But it leaves my head. I'm scratching my head as to why the response was not the same.
And I'll tell you why. Tell you why.
Okay, go ahead.
Because it was an open question as to what exactly was happening, right? And I understand that initially you took it to be a very credible threat, but I was already aware of the picture before. Shamos sent me the picture of him writing Discord lies, stocks, and nudes on. I already remember him posting the nude pic without anything on the cover. So Shamos sent me a picture of him, of that picture from the other day, and I was like, dude, I've already seen this. I already know that you just wrote that on there, right? And I pounced on that entire thing. I spent hours going through exactly what happened, talking to Shamos, talking to other people, asking other people what they thought I should do. And I went in there and I fucking laid it down with Shamos. I demanded that he go through the book page by page. I sent you the video immediately, if nothing else, but to at least assuage your fears as to the validity of the threat. And
well,
it was
you did, right? And what I'm not saying is that I thought I was left in the wind, right? I'm not saying I thought that like no one cared. To me, the way it looked was like, look, this has happened multiple times with him, in which he's bluffed to make the other person believe that they're gonna be doxxed, or that they will be doxxed, or that he has information on them. And every time it happens, except this one, he's been banned for it. And my thinking was, first of all, my panic started. My panic disorder kicked in. I was freaking out. I was absolutely freaking out, just like I did on Google Hangouts. And what I was thinking to myself was that if I've been in this community for this long, for 5 years, and I still have to be worried about someone doxing me because they're going to be making threats like this, and it's Shamos again for like the third time, then what the fuck does that say about my state in the community, right? I figured, fuck, as vehemently as you were pissed off and everyone was pissed off last time, that if he did it again, this was just going to be it. This is just going to be it. And it was like, well, no, that's not going to be the case. It didn't
I mean,
seem right to
this
me.
time I think most everyone just took it to be a joke. I already knew about. I remembered him posting a picture of the thing the other day, right? So joke. So that's the main difference, right? So we didn't have access to this sort of damning evidence in previous cases, and in the other cases, Shane was fucking super pissed, and we had him like conspiring with other people to actually like fucking do shit, right? I don't think there's any kind of reason.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to beat a dead horse here, but I think the point is not whether it was credible or not. The point is what the way that Shamos makes it look in the moment. The point is that he's bluffed on multiple occasions to try to make the other person believe it. I'm not saying that Shamos should only be banned if he in fact actually has the information. The point was that as far as I was concerned, I thought that he was able to ask that of the community if in fact he bluffed in order to make someone believe that it was the case that was going to happen. That seems totally reasonable to me, especially when Shamos is like a repeat offender in this context. Like, I mean, it kept going through my mind, like, how many times do we have to go through this?
I mean, anyone else have input on this? Jovan? I don't know.
I'm really busy right now.
Am I breaking up?
Oh.
I think the book isn't what really bothered me. It was just when he then mentioned to Declan, I have your information. That's what bothered me more than anything, is when he was like, hey, you remember, Declan, I have your information.
Yeah, Shamos, you should refrain from saying, because it's just going to be interpreted. It's like, hey, keep in mind.
Yeah. I know that now. I think that, I mean, it was the case that when I came back in, I'm pretty sure that there was already a clause on the table that I couldn't even joke or even hint or anything even close to stuff like that. So I had broke that social contract, and I realized that I was caught up in the moment, and I'm not making excuses for it, but just even I thought would have been kind of funny, and I thought that for some reason I thought that it was funny enough to justify breaking that rule there. And I made a mistake, and you're damn right, I won't be doing that again.
I mean, nobody has any input on this. I'm open to criticism on how I handled the situation. Right? You think I should have done something?
It was I think you did the best you could have done, because as terrible as it is, and I really do think it's terrible, and I don't know why you would even bother to joke about it. Nonetheless, it was obviously a joke anyway to everybody, which just means that it's a hard hill to. It's just the timing was off. Something was. I don't know. I think what Tom thought up, making him look at every single page and show every single page to really let you feel, Declan, like it was clearly all bluff.
Yeah, I really appreciated that. That's why I said I don't want Tom or anyone else to think that the way that I felt was that like there was nothing done about it, because that wasn't it. Right? And I didn't leave. There's gonna be a nuance here, and you have to bear with me. The reason why I left was not to say, well, fuck you, Tom. The reason why I left was to be like, what do I need to do to protect my family at this point? That's why I kept saying to you, Tom, over and over, this is not an ultimatum. I'm not giving you an ultimatum. It's just what I have to do. I need to take some time to figure out how to do that.
Right, I think you did. I think you did what you needed to do because you perceived a threat. You took it seriously, and that led to me taking action and providing you with the information that you needed in order to say, okay, this is not a real threat. That's the most important thing. If I'm you and I'm trying to do some sort of like threat assessment, right? So I mean, you gotta also keep in mind that, say we ban Shamos, right? Well, the other cases that you've alluded to where he did get banned, where there was a similar thing, right? Which is your perception. I think that there's some differences, subtle. But even in those cases, he was unbanned, right? So even if I ban him, right, and I did that because in the past it was handled that way, then you're still looking at an unban, right? And then what?
Well,
then what?
I didn't have any illusions that he would have been permanently banned. I don't think at any point I said I wanted him permanently banned. At least I don't think I did.
Right, but
I mean, I assume. Go ahead.
But the circumstances in which he was unbanned is that he, for example, with Seth, right? He just said that he's not going to do that anymore, right? Which he already did. So why? How could I ban him then?
But he did it again. You see what I mean? Like, at what point are you spinning your wheels here?
Right. Well,
it seems like every 6 months you have to like contact Shamos to prove that he's not done it again.
Yeah, what is the whole point of telling him don't do it again? Because you're going to get a little smack if it really isn't really going to.
Look, if people in this community just had one chance and they were just permanently gone, then this would probably be an empty room.
Exactly. So don't tell him he's going to be banned if he isn't really going to be banned. It's just ridiculous.
Well,
look, Tom, but that's not the case, right? The case isn't that he just did one thing and was going to be banned. But if there was one thing that, this is just, again, my opinion, if there was one thing that deserved a permanent ban, it's that shit. That's about as real as it gets. Out of all the things, this is real life shit. This isn't like he called me an asshole, so I want him banned, right? This is something completely different.
What you guys want? You guys want me to ban Shamos?
To be honest with you, Tom, look, I respect our disagreement. I told you in DMs. It's not that I don't like you, and it's not that I'm even like, well, fuck Tom, we're not friends anymore. But after that, I give up. I give up trying to shout this from the rooftops, right? It's never, nothing's ever going to change as far as that's concerned. And from where I'm sitting, what that's going to result with you is that in another 6 months, it's going to happen. You're going to have to contact Shamos, and he's going to have to flip through another book again, or it's going to be something different, just in another context. If you feel like that, that's something that you want to do, you are the owner of the room, right? And I don't say this facetiously, and I'm not trying to sneak anything in here, but if you feel like that is something that it's worth being fostered in here for the content, that's a decision that you have to make as well. I just thought, I see Helena's point. You probably had a tough decision to make, and I commend you for what you did and I appreciate you for going as far as you did. Most room owners would not have done that. I sort of see things differently than you do on this subject. I think you and I would have handled it differently. And look, maybe that's why I'm not a room owner. I don't know, but it seems like this was a specific case in which I think that should have been allowed.
Look, I handled it the way I did for you. Like I said, I already remembered the book.
Yeah.
I already thought there's no way there's anything in that book. It's just gonna be some fucking stupid, call Eddie about this fucking outboard motor or some bullshit, right? I only did that for you. I mean, the bottom line is, yeah, Shamos is a fucking child, right? He acts out, he does stupid shit, he has to get the fucking rolled up newspaper, and can't just throw the fucking kid out on the streets, though.
Ellie, you want to play after you're done with that match?
Holy shit.
Yeah, of course.
I think part of the problem, Shamos gets this level of comfort where he's showing it now, where he thinks he's untouchable because he provides content, but his content is just him shouting people down all day.
Shamos knows he's not untouchable. Don't make no fucking mistake. I've banned him many, many times.
They mean nothing, Tom.
Yeah, let's just say that I tried to.
That's wrong.
I tried to leverage
How do they mean anything? If he's just going to come back.
I just want to say this. I tried to leverage my participation in the room and the content that I provide and my presence many times to get things that I wanted, and it always failed. Always failed. I've never ever been able to bargain my content or my presence into anything. I haven't been able to parlay that into anything yet. So.
Except being
and there can be other things other than the perma ban, like being banned for a couple months can hurt a lot of people. And like with Shamos, went through a drunken fuel of rage and fucking depression because he wasn't in here.
Yeah, somebody can go through depression if they're doxxed.
No, the point is that simply being permabanned isn't the only thing that would cause somebody to fucking correct their behavior. And being permabanned is so drastic that we've never done that to anybody.
This is what I don't get. I mean, there's 43 people in here, and I'm saying, like, look, suggestions, I don't. What do you guys think? What do you want me to do? What do you think I should do? Tell me. And I get like 2 people.
And
what am I supposed to do?
I'm asking you, I'm asking you, Tom, what is the point of giving somebody an ultimatum of, hey, don't do that, because if you do, we're going to ban you. Whenever they do this thing, they get banned, and then, oh, okay, now you can come back. There's no point in telling this person not to do something because they're going to get a little slap on the wrist and get a ban, and then they come back. What's the point? It's just silliness.
Oh,
it just seems silly. It just seems silly.
All right, you want advice, Tom? I'll tell you, like I tell everybody else who comes to me for advice. You start with, what do you want? No bullshit. What do you want? Because you can't go anywhere. You can't make any real decisions unless you understand what you want.
Yeah, but I'm saying that it's not just about what I want.
No, fuck off. You're the one making the decision.
Yeah, you know what I want? Part of what I want is to fucking appease the community. Okay, Gus?
Okay. So what do you think?
And I'm saying, what does the community want? And you're telling me, what do you want, Tom?
Well, yeah, but at some point, Tom, you're gonna have to take responsibility for the fact that you run shit here. Like at some point, we can't make these decisions. You can't. Which means that
that's fine, and if that's what the community says,
so what? I mean,
that's
you've
fine.
been told
I'll make the
different
decision.
things. You're not going to do any of them, right? You've been told to ban Shamos. You won't. You've been told to do all sorts of things with Shamos. You won't.
Look, I can't just ban someone because 2 people want it.
Oh, fuck off, Tom.
If over half of the people in this room right now say that I want Shamos banned, I will ban him.
Yeah, except that goddamn well that's not going to happen. Right, because most of the people here are packing peanuts. Right?
I'm actually a little. I'm sort of in agreement with Tom here. Like, I know for a fact that there are people in the server that have strong opinions on this very subject that are not speaking up. And if there was ever a time for you to speak up, now should be the time to do it. Whether you agree or disagree with me,
I'm not going to assume people think X or Y, and then I do something, and then you know what? I just get criticized, and then it's on me. Now I'm the fucking bad guy, right? No, I'm not doing
It's
that.
a big fucking deal, Tom.
I'm
You
new
run a
here,
room,
but
man. Like
doxing's
you're gonna fucking
bullshit.
you're gonna suck shit up your cornhole no matter what. You run the room. So ultimately, you make the choice that you want as Tom, and you fucking live with it. Because you can't read our minds.
You don't
right?
have
Like,
to. You can just talk to me.
Well, except that nobody is, right? Like, I mean,
What
and the
explains
other
that,
thing
Gus?
too is
What explains
the
that?
other thing too is sometimes what you need to do is listen to people before you actually ask them what they want, right? People have been telling you, people are constantly telling you what they want. So for you to suddenly stop and say, "Okay, now I'm listening," and you stare them in the eyes and say, "Now you, oh come on, hey, come on, Jingle
Sorry.
Bells, like for fun."
Sorry.
And for you to say, "Oh, right now," you tell me right now. Like, why the fuck should they? When they've been telling you for months what you should fucking do.
I don't know what that was. That?
Tom, you can't please everybody, and I feel like since you can't please everybody, you should do. This is your server. You should do what you want to do. And I know you want to please everybody, but you can't.
I already know
and
that.
you know you
I already know I
can't.
can't.
So you should just do what you want to do. And if
Pretty
people
much.
leave, then that's on them. Like, if you're obviously unhappy with a situation like this and it's stressing you out, and if this is what this is going to cause, then there's no point in it. Like, do what you want to do. Do what's going to make you happy and you unstressed. Like, this
Oh my
is
God, there was at least 10 platitudes jammed in there. I'm gonna kill myself.
Like if his notebook actually had people like written in there, then yeah. But if he's just joking about it and like do a partial ban, like for a week or two. But if it
I
was
thought
like
this was already settled,
50,
man.
So when it said nudes on it, Declan, what did you think? Did you think he was like scribbling nudes into the book?
I mean, it seemed a little unorthodox, but look, his vocal intonation was totally serious, right? He wasn't using a joking voice. It wasn't anything like that. He mentioned the fact out loud that my original Google Hangout had my actual name on it and a picture of my wife
See,
and
but
my
I took
child.
that. I get what you're saying, that you took that as like a more of a like a threatening thing. But when I heard that, I took it as him just like trying to like assure you that it's something he would never do. Right? It's just
How
like,
am I
hey,
supposed
look,
to? This is
Why should you
beyond
trust
me.
Shamos though to say that?
It's not about trusting. It's about like the context of what he was saying, right? It's
Like
just
if
at that point in time, it was clear that he's saying, "Look, I have all this information about you for the longest time, and we've been enemies all this time. I have not revealed it, so you shouldn't really have anything to worry about." But I
This
get
is
what you're saying is that
ridiculous.
you heard, and when you heard that, you just felt as though it was a threat, and then you interpreted it as a
like
threat. I get that you were upset about that.
if Shamos tells me he has my docs but he won't do anything with them, I'm not going to trust him with that.
Same.
Well,
he has a history of doing something with
I
that.
don't know how anyone else could see that as not a veiled threat.
Yeah,
That's like that. That's just like, and I'm not going to mention the name again, right? Because I know it's sensitive, but that's like someone having information on someone, like a picture, and then being like, "I've had this entire time," and mentioning it out of nowhere. But by the way, I have this stuff, right? That everyone in here, including that person, knows. They would flip out.
No, Jovan, not like this, man.
And it's not the
Well, all I
notebook
said was,
that
like I said, it's
Declan
about the
is-
context.
It's not the notebook that Declan is alluding to. It's the statement that Shamos made that I think is his concern.
Well, like I said, and multiple other people just interpreted that as like him just saying it as if he's just like never would do it.
Just talking shit.
Well, you know, we boomers have this old-fashioned notion that there should be limits on that.
Well, don't get me wrong. We already made him
things
agree
Yeah.
that he shouldn't have done that, right? That he should not be doing that in the first place. So I get people being upset about him doing it.
Jovan, what would you want to happen to Shamos if he'd done the same thing to you?
The exact same thing.
And Tom,
nothing.
what would you want to happen to Shamos if he did the same thing to you?
The exact same thing. Nothing.
Well, I didn't. I perceived it as a joke.
What if you hadn't perceived it as a joke and you had perceived it as a threat?
Yeah, then
That's just going to be trivially true then. In the you're just creating like a hypothetical norm at that.
Yeah, that is what I'm creating, Yuri. Well
Right, but
done.
that's just going to be trivially true though, so it's not interesting.
Yeah, so I'm creating a hypothetical. So
well, that's a
It's
different
like-
situation then because we had like proof though.
Right, it's like
If
My
it was true,
point to
if there was something in
Yeah.
that notebook, yeah, he would have been banned immediately.
No, it's not the notebook. Again, it's not about the notebook, which is what I'm trying to state, that, you know, this is someone that knows you and has history, and it's just making that threat. That's all it is. It's not necessarily the case that they would go with it. It's just making that threat and making you think that there's a possibility.
Thank you.
Doesn't mean that he will do it.
No,
But
if I
there's a
believe that it
possibility
was an
because they
actual
know you.
threat.
If I just finish, yeah, that's all it is. I know your name is Tom, Dick, and Harry, and that you live in, you know, such and such road that has little thingies, and that you work in such a place, and that you sell ice cream, and that there's a chance that this individual may do that thing and put that information out there in the ether. That is the case. That person could potentially, they may not do it, but they're just putting it out there that they could. Could that information go out there? Would that make you feel some type of way? That's the conversation that is.
Okay, so yeah, if I believe that it was an actual threat, then yeah, we have rules against that. We don't want actual threats of doxing. But the thing is that the people involved don't actually believe, well, other than Declan, they don't actually believe that it was an actual threat. Other than, well, I guess you believe in an actual threat. Most people took that as him simply reassuring Declan in a horrible way.
God, the fact that is even an inference that was drawn is ridiculous to me. Like, the out of nowhere, with no context whatsoever, Shamos just comes up to me.
No, there was
and like,
context.
oh,
No, there
no,
wasn't,
there
Javon.
No,
wasn't.
there was. The context was Declan was talking
wasn't,
about.
Javon.
Declan was talking about the like chances of him being doxxed or whatever, something
No,
like that.
I
and then-
wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
No, Declan was talking about like or he was getting upset or something. It was something that Declan was getting upset at the time about Shamos, and then Shamos was like, "Look," and then started saying that.
No.
Yeah.
Javon, you know what? It
Listen
wasn't.
to the conversation.
Okay, then
Yeah,
send me the
he
recording
showed-
then.
The whole conversation was about snooze.
Listen, he showed a book out of nowhere. Showed that book.
Yeah, and then
I
you said, "Are
"Is
you saying that you would like release my
Let him
docs or something?"
finish.
That's right.
And then he
That's
said that.
right.
Yeah, that's the context.
No,
So you
he-
guys tell me
listen-
there's no context
look,
where that
look,
happened is
no,
dumb.
no.
There was
When
the context, and then he's said that to reassure you.
When I say there's no context, what I mean by that is that there was no prior background for him to reassure me of anything. He shows that book. By the way, I have info on everyone.
Wait,
I
let me
have all
clarify
your-
what I
excuse
mean
me,
by that then. Let me
excuse
clarify what
me,
I'm,
I'm
because you're
not finished.
misunderstanding what I'm saying.
I'm not finished. He shows
All right,
this
go ahead.
book out of nowhere and says, by the way, I have everyone's lies, everyone's nudes, and everyone's docs. I say in response to that, oh, so what, are you intending to use this info for X? And he says, no. Well, Declan, I have a distinctive page. You have a very distinctive page in here because you did X and Y and Z and have this information here. Right? What am I supposed to infer from that? And you're saying that my inference of that should have been he's reassuring
No,
me he would never do
not
something
that
like that?
part. See, again, you're misunderstanding what I said. That's why I asked you to let me just re-clarify what I was saying. I'm talking about when he was talking about the thing about having your information and that he's had it for a long time. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm saying was clearly him, in my eyes, just was telling you that, look, I would never release it because I've had this information all this time. So you should feel like, at least inductively, that I would not release the information and not be worried about it.
In virtue of what should I infer that?
But did you just hear what I said and understand what I said?
Yes, I understood what you said, but
In
basically,
virtue of the fact that he has had the information all this time, has many fights with you, had many opportunities and motivation to post it, if that's what you were saying, but he has not yet, right?
the
So why
counter,
would he just
the
randomly?
counter, because the counter evidence is him showing me the book to tell me he has a distinctive page on me. That's the counter evidence.
Well, yeah, that's just saying that he still has the information, but even though them have, that's different than him releasing it, right?
Why should I believe that he's not going to release it when he brings it up out of nowhere?
Well, also, I thought that was a clear joke too.
Of course you did.
I mean,
But
I'm trying my
like I
best.
said, Declan, I get you being angry and I get how you interpreted everything, right? I'm not saying you're dumb for interpreting it that way. I'm not saying you had like made some bad inference or you're unreasonable. I'm just saying that I had a different interpretation of those events. I'm not like getting mad at you for having that interpretation.
Look, I understand, and I'm not pissed at you. I'm
And I get that you're
frustrated more
frustrated
than
right now.
anything.
I get that. Yeah,
I'm
I'm sorry. I
frustrated
know.
because it's all right. I'm frustrated because I literally, from what I heard in that conversation, I don't know how anyone could, unless you were referring to something he said later that I wasn't there for. I don't know how that could have been interpreted the way that you were saying that you interpreted it. It has got to be that he said something else that you heard later, because from what I heard, there is no way to interpret that the way that he's painting it out to be.
We institute the rule of two.
Hello, Dragna. What do you think?
I have no fucking idea what's going on. I just popped in here, and evidently we're trying to get rid of Shamos. Is that what we're doing?
Hi, Drag.
Sharpening
going
the
on?
pitchforks, Drag.
I'm trying to stay out of this as much as possible, but I will say one thing that I think might amount to a small amount of evidence that even Declan himself didn't really take it as a threat. And I would submit that evidence would be the fact that as I was saying those things, he actually made a remark that's actually kind of telling. He said, Shamos, you're about a cunt hair away from being banned. And so what I'm proposing is that if you look at that statement, it actually shows by his own lights that I was like walking a fine line, but yet that I hadn't crossed it. See what I'm saying? Because think about it, if he really did think it
Let me
as a
respond
threat,
to that.
I will let you respond. If he really did think it as a threat, wouldn't he have just outright banned me? It was when he said, "You're walking a fine, you're cunt hair away from me," banned, as if I hadn't crossed some line yet, as if it was could go either way, you know.
Yeah, the reason why I didn't ban you, and I had my finger hovering over the button, but the reason why I didn't ban you, and I even told Helena this, was out of respect for both Helena and Tom. I wanted to double check above all things that it was what Tom wanted to do. And it turns out that I was right in doing that. Because if I would have banned you, you would have just been unbanned, and then I would have been pissed off about something else.
Yeah, I believe
mods don't always see eye to eye with what Tom wants done, and I've seen that happen time and time again. So rather than make a hasty decision, I wanted to ban you more than anything.
That was smart.
I was hovering over it, but above all things, I restrained myself out of respect for the server and out of respect for Helena and Tom.
Top mod right there.
Where do we go from here?
So are we not banning Shamos? At the end of the day, ultimately, I just go with this. Gus says it's your server. You do. Think anybody's gonna be really sad?
Wait,
Anna, what's your problem? Unban me.
No.
Wait, there's a notebook with people's docs and shit. Is that
No?
It's just it's a veiled threat that Shamos made. It's empty. Fact is.
Yeah, the conversation is about that.
Hannah
that'd be
banned you
creepy.
from Dragnot server?
Yeah.
Why?
Why is
Hey,
that, Hannah?
Dragnot, send me a PM.
Who is this? There's too many people. I can't.
Shamos.
Why am I sending? Are you gonna send me a dick pic?
He's gonna. Careful.
No, but I will if you want me to.
I mean,
I told you. I told
Hannah,
you.
why is this? Why did you ban me?
Just for reasons. Because I can. I don't know.
The fuck?
Oh, am I audible?
Too tired. No, don't worry about it. I'm just too tired. I don't even fucking know.
Vampire Buster ban.
Maybe this is just one big misunderstanding, and Shamos just wants to have sex with his wife.
Am I audible, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
You're
Oh,
audible.
great. Oh,
Jesus.
Hannah, why did you ban me?
Answered.
I don't know. I just kind of felt like it, I guess.
Wow. People are criticizing moderation around here. Fucking Christ, dude. Unbelievable.
I think maybe Hannah should be banned just because I feel like it. What do you guys think?
Sure, go for it if that's what you want. It's not my server.
Yeah,
Where the fuck
absolutely.
am I gonna argue?
Let's totally ban Hannah.
You're trash, Hannah.
Silver trash, excuse you.
Gold trash.
Actually, platinum now.
Oh fuck.
Something about talking about 10-inch dicks gets you higher elo.
10-inch dick.
So am I not getting the dick pic? Is that what's going on?
I mean, you have to ask. You know, just he'll send you a courtesy dick pic, and then you
Dragnot,
just kind of
what the fuck's
pose.
the matter with you? You don't want Seamus's dick
Send me
pic.
a PM.
What's the matter with you?
I'm just asking if I would. I didn't say I necessarily wanted it, but
Dragnot, do you let women run your server?
I do.
You do?
And if you want a dick pic, ask Layla. She has a dick pic of mine saved on her computer right now.
I'd believe it.
Did you send it unsolicited or did she ask for it?
I send it
Unsolicited. Yeah.
It was
You
part of a
basically
bulk
raped me.
mailing.
I
It was part of
basically
it was
internet
part of a
raped
bulk
her for
mailing
the
the
most
entire
part.
Eastern
It was an
Seaboard
internet
got it.
raping.
Hannah,
I mean,
I'm
did she
sorry,
like it?
fuck.
I love you.
I love you too. I'm so
She
sorry.
knows the only reason I address her is for that. There's no other
At
reason.
all.
I don't like you.
Doesn't say hi to
Yep.
me. No, I love
Nope.
you. How's your day?
Nope.
None of it. Hannah.
Nope.
Hannah,
Nope.
this shit again.
Hannah. That's the only time you ever hear me say your name.
At all. It's so sad. You used to love me. Now you just fucking hate me. You used to say
I
good
wanted to
morning.
play games with you today, and then I was just so busy I wasn't able to join. I wanted to play League.
Today was a lazy Sunday. I was just taking care of my grandma all day, so I'm just like, fuck it. Play games. Ain't
I
got
was
nothing else to
just
do.
playing League with Hannah, and little did I know she is a
An
a
enemy of the state.
conniving little
Bitch. Say
nice
it.
person.
Cargo pot.
Crackpot? What?
Yeah, Hannah, what's your problem? Seriously.
No, I'm just fucked up, man. I'm just one day I snapped. You know? I just snapped one day, man. Just said, you know what? I'm gonna find this user. I'm just gonna ban him. That's what I did.
Did I do something to you, Hannah, that you feel you need to hold a grudge against
Me
me?
personally, no, not that I know of. I don't think you did anything. Not that I remember.
Oh, well then what's
Did
your
you do anything to
problem?
me? I don't know, man. It just snapped one day.
What the fuck is this?
Actually,
breaking.
Hannah is handling Layla perfectly.
It's just like really passive aggressive cattiness on Hannah's part. Like, what the fuck, bitch?
It's working.
I mean, it's working to just make Hannah seem like competent mod.
Yeah. Fair enough.
What's up, guys?
Yo.
I don't know who
So,
that
so
is.
we're not talking about like Shameless's dick pic. Is that over?
Yeah, it moves
You-
on fairly quick.
Drag, you should know that
Christ,
Shamos
Dragnot.
doesn't really believe in like manscaping.
Really? Was there a lot of bush?
Bro, you should just If his
You should
face is
respect
any
it.
indicator, I can only imagine what's down under.
When
Happy
Great
So,
Bush roamed the
Dragna,
earth.
in your server, do mods just mod at their very whim? Like if they don't like the person,
Ellie,
is
if
that
you're
like a
gonna,
good
can you not
justification?
do the passive aggressive bullshit and just ask the question you want to?
I'm
Like,
not being
Jesus
passive
Christ.
Who is that
aggressive.
guy?
I'm outright asking you if that's
Tragnot,
if
in
that's
your
what you're
server,
cool with.
are girls allowed
Jesus,
to
guys.
Tragnot?
Dragtown's just gonna give a meme answer like, "We talking about Shamos' dick pic?" I mean, they don't fucking care about it. This sort of thing is okay with him. Mods can do whatever the fuck they want. Dragnot doesn't care.
Hey, Dragnot, in
Holy
your
Spackle
server,
can
do
ban people that
people
she
text?
wants. I mean, that's just how they run things.
There we go, Tom.
Okay,
Are
that's
you,
all
are
I
you not
wanted to
close enough to
know.
a great king to learn by his example?
Right, I set it
I
up
hope
for
there's no complaining by
set it
people from
I
the
set it
Dragnot server
I
in
set it
here
all up for
about
you.
any moderation ever.
I set it all up for you,
But
Dragnot. All you
yet
gotta do
you've
is sign
been
off on
passively
it, and we can close
aggressively
the book.
asking questions.
Who is that guy?
Oh, did you run your server?
It's the hand of the king.
Some ginger.
His
Jesus
mic is
Christ.
fucked up.
He
Wait,
sounds
this
like
is
he's underage for this server.
He's the hand.
he's
of
the hand of the
king.
king. We gotta listen to him. Go ahead.
What?
No, I'm of age. No worries.
Your mic is fucked up.
Has his balls dropped?
I don't know. Ask Tom. He's the hand of the king.
Is this
Yeah,
the
they
kid
have.
Yuri is
I just have a very high voice for a 21-year-old.
What was your previous name? You were wrecking somebody, right? And then I made you hand of the king because you were dealing with somebody. Who was that?
I was
Sugar.
Hack-On. That wasn't Sugar. That was fucking Lexicon, whatever the fuck his name was.
Oh yeah,
Oh
Alexicon. Yeah.
yeah. That was it, yeah.
Getting wrecked.
Oh, now I remember.
Do you just have that picture ready, Drag? What the fuck?
Yeah.
He's got like a D-Roy expression for every situation. Fucking nutty. Yeah, that
Oh,
one.
that's
Oh my god.
hilarious.
I don't even know who this guy is.
It's better that you don't. It's stupid.
Did that guy recover from the stroke he's having?
That one is not as good. The first two are great. This
He's G-Man's great uncle.
Butt buddy.
Hey, Gus.
Hello, Ginger, whoever you are.
Fuck, where's that one? You have a picture where it looks like his eyes are going in two different. Like one's going one way, the other.
Dude, Dragnot's a sadistic asshole because he purposely plays D-Roy's shit at normal pace so that way most of us can just want to kill her.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't he double it? He went like 1.5 or because he just couldn't.
Yeah, but like it waits till our suffering is at the maximum before he does that.
Yeah.
Could be worse, kids. Could be worse.
That's the good shit. Oh no, that's fucked up.
Oh God.
damn.
Someone shut Hannah up. She's pissing me off.
Sweet Jesus, is that?
Keep talking, Hannah.
Oh my
There
God,
we
it
go,
is.
Ellie riding
That's
Hannah's dick
Shanny
again.
on 420
Oh
weekday.
dear Lord.
No one cares.
No one cares.
Uh,
Everybody shut up.
Who is
Does she have
listening
ketchup
to
next
her
to her
talk
bed?
about
I guess
Shanny
just
for
all
Christ?
whining.
Anyone?
I think everyone else but you wants to talk about.
Who are you? Who even
hand of
are
the
Who
king.
are
you?
these people?
Bow
Why don't
before
they
him.
love me?
She's really in a
Nobody
hissy
knows who
fit
you
right
are,
now.
Ginger.
Actually, a couple people
We know who
I
he is
am.
now.
I'll be fucked if I do. I don't know who he is. Who is he?
He's the
Drag
hand of the
knows
king.
who I am.
Hand of the king, man. That's all. All you need to.
I know
Oh,
lots.
great.
Told me
We've got the
nothing.
whole Dragnot crew.
Oh, are you just upset, Ellie, because you're no longer a
She's
part
really
of said
triggered.
crew?
I get annoyed with people like Hannah who are
Okay, well,
passive
just go
aggressive and
back to
don't give me a
Starbucks
reason
and being the
for
basic
anything.
bitch that you are.
Oh fuck.
Mm.
Shit, dude. Damn.
The fuck? What is going on right now?
Mm.
Layla's whining.
Jesus Christ, Tom. Did you
Jesus
take your Nadia
Christ.
pills before you came in here?
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
No, no,
I
no.
don't
You
This is
can't.
gross. This is
have
cancer. Get these people
any
out of here.
idea what's going on. Go ahead.
Welcome, Tom. Welcome.
Tom, do the laugh. Really, really drive
Huh.
Layla in.
Oh no.
Go ahead.
Excuse me.
Jesus fucking Christ.
This is turning into blue politics.
Yeah, it's
Nothing better
trash.
to
Get them out
drunk
of
than
here.
listening to a bunch of
Complete
people fucking talk.
trash.
Yeah, I can actually attest from experience that blue politics is fucking ridiculous. And my sabbatical that I took off, I actually went there for like a week, and my ears will never be the same.
Oh, I can't.
There
Maybe 2 minutes.
there is no moderation.
Right.
It's a
None.
fucking
Wanna-
50 people all speaking at once. It's ridiculous.
You want to
It's
cue
like
that
a
recording?
It's like a
Tom?
monkey house.
It's too late for that.
Ah, damn.
They're gonna if I did that, they'd all break out the pitchforks that come for me.
I could last maybe 2 minutes of blue politics before I just get bored
Yeah,
to
in that
tears.
clip of the person just being, the mod actually is there the entire time and saying that, hey, I kind of like this.
You cut out.
The mod is there the entire time. Why that guy is going screaming.
I think that's the best part. Is knowing that the mod is there.
And the mod is commenting on how he likes it.
It's Vigilant Christian Mario, by the way.
Isn't that the guy who got kicked out of rehab?
Yep.
Mm.
Gotta read it.
Because he had steroids, according to him.
Steroid?
Yeah.
How long has
Yeah.
he been using? Because a guy that size, I would expect him, a little bigger. No.
Well, he went to rehab for alcohol abuse and as well as cocaine, but he got kicked out for steroid abuse. So, yeah, that's, yeah, I don't believe him at all.
You should interview him next, Tom.
If you can get him, he has an interesting story. He squandered almost $500,000 in donations from his YouTube channel for his Christian ministry.
Oh
What
shit.
the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
$500,000?
It was like 480 million, but you might as well say half.
480,000.
480,000.
What's his YouTube channel? Like,
Yeah. I'm sorry. Vigilant Christian Mario.
Vigilant.
I think he calls it the something vlog, Mario vlog or something. Vigilant vlog.
Did you catch the interview with the ex Stephen Christ member?
No, I saw that pop up in my feed, but I was too busy talking to G-Tard. But how was that? I've actually spoken to the Lord himself years ago. But yeah, oh no, this is back when fucking Blog TV were still around, or Vaughn TV or whatever the fuck it turned into.
Basically a sex cult.
Oh, is he still trying to convince young, vulnerable gay dudes to turn to into females or some shit?
Apparently.
We actually had his follower here last weekend, I think it was.
Hermes.
Yeah, and because he was here, then we had Veronica pop in the chat, and that's why Tom ended up doing the interview with her.
That's it.
You should do an interview with Hermes, Tom. So maybe he would like to respond to what Veronica was saying.
I don't think he'd be able to stay on track.
Yeah, Lord Stephen Christ has this uncanny ability to warp people's minds, and it's vulnerable folks who are usually drug users, but he can really fuck up their heads. I don't know what it is, but it's some type of pull that he has on the minds of the vulnerable.
It's interesting. She couldn't pinpoint what it was either. something weird about some of these people.
Well, if you see some of the other people, because he had a longtime follower for a few years ago who got this. I think he called it a brand, but it's some huge tattoo that he got on himself. And it was a mark of his devotion to Stephen.
Yeah,
And
we saw that.
so that's a really weird one, but that's one of the, I guess, the more recent ones. I kind of
It's
lost
just
contact with him.
weird how some of these people, like kind of a Charles Manson effect. There's and all we call it is charisma, but
He's in jail.
there's something bizarre. Yeah. hmm
That might be why you lost contact. I don't know. Did you know that he was in jail, Dragna?
Oh yeah. I actually had to contact. I contacted him while I was still in the military, and I had to then go and talk to somebody because I had a secret security clearance at the time, and so talking to someone who's threatening your commander in chief is probably not the best idea if you want to maintain your clearance. So
Well, he tried to jump the wall at the White House. No.
that was on one occasion. The other occasion, I think it was just a threat that he made a series of public threats, to which he was convicted of. But yeah, his behavior seems more and more erratic as each and every time they let him out. The fuck am I reading?
Depends what chat you're in.
I'm in general chat. Okay, you guys are
I don't know
reading.
what's going on. I don't know
But
what's going on either.
Dragooners are welcome.
Layla would
They
rather
love
listen
chat.
to Sugar go on hour-long tirade.
Uh,
For
Drag.
whatever reason.
If Ellie was welcome over there, she would be saying other stuff. She's just upset right now.
That's true.
She said that Lord Stephen Christ asked her to eat.
that
Make
sounds
her
about
out. Eat her pee.
Yeah.
I think
Drink her pee and eat her poop.
Oh my god.
it's him and this other weirdo who thinks he's a shaman, who have weird beliefs about bodily fluids and spirits or something that are contained within. Can't remember the shaman guy's name.
Veronica or Rhonda said that now he thinks that he's a goddess, and so trapped in a man's body.
Oh.
And so he's going to start taking estrogen and stuff like that.
Good.
Wait, I thought that was Elon. I agree that
Nalon already is, right?
Nalon's the one. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Nalon is the boy toy that he had. I think Nalon also has a brand, and Nalon's going from male to female for Steven.
But I think it was Nalon was trying to be androgynous, and Lord Stephen Christ was taking the estrogen to transition.
That's right. That was how it ended up.
Really?
That's what I understood from what she was saying.
That's what I understood too. That it was Lord Stephen Christ who said. Now he thinks what's really going on is that he's a goddess.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm guess I'm late to the game with that one.
I may have to listen to it again because there were jumping back between Stephen and Nail. What's his name? Nail. Yeah, she did say that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And Nayland. Yeah. But the
Mhm.
Nayland guy thought he was going to transition, or it was actually. I think he wrote in the chat, "I am taking hormones."
He said that in voice here that he already has small breasts.
Nalon or Hermes?
Nayland.
Hermes, same person.
Guy.
Oh, they're the same guy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought they were two different people.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
No, that's why it's Hermes. Is not like Hermes the god. It's Hermes being female something. I don't quite understand how he broke that down to that, but
Yeah, I didn't understand the me's part.
yeah.
To be her is me.
Oh,
is the
the
idea.
mess is
I
messenger.
think it was messenger.
So
Okay.
it's her messenger.
Her messenger. Okay.
Oh, her messenger.
Cringe.
Okay. Doesn't he have kids?
Very bizarre.
Yes, apparently he does. Yes.
God, can you imagine growing up in that house?
I don't think he was ever. It didn't seem like he was actually around.
She's in another country.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's
The Hermes guy said he was 21.
Did you post that? Was that ever posted, Tom? The Hermes thing? Did you broadcast that?
I think it's on there.
Oh, I just noticed.
When
Where's
he-
the? Oh,
Sorry.
go ahead.
No, there was a point when he went a bit sort of when he lost it a little bit with Molly. Molly was saying some stuff that wasn't necessarily true.
No, I
but
was fucking with him.
yeah, he just went a bit, and it was kind of interesting. But yeah,
Where's I just noticed. Where's JJ at?
sleeping.
Probably asleep. Gotcha. Getting his own little world where all his friends are Warhammer 40k figurines, and supplements that with some limited real life interaction with us. Yeah, he was here earlier today. He's either sleeping or doing some Warhammer 40k activity.
Sounds like fun.
No.
Oh, everyone needs a hobby.
It's not. No.
How's WoW Classic, Dragnut?
Oh, it's classic.
Grindy as fuck.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a healer, so I
Did you get tired of it already?
I was tired of it before I started playing it. I'm playing it as a favor to a buddy of mine who came back alive from Kuwait. So.
Oh wow.
Oh, Drag, I ended up doing the whole 14.5 hours with Von Helton.
Oh really?
I did. I stuck in it.
Whole thing.
Fuck.
Yes.
I just
Can
found
you
out about
explain
that
to me
this
what you mean by
morning.
that, Molly? What do you mean, Molly? What?
He had
Bond
a
held a
hangout that was
14-hour long
hangout, and I did it all. He's my kryptonite.
I saw Molly
streaming
just
for 14
an
hours?
entire page of YouTube chat was just Molly saying stuff.
Molly, I hate to break
No, you know why? Because he had no chatted in me. He had banned me, and I didn't realize it.
Jesus Christ! You're his stalker, Molly.
Well,
I am.
no, he does have actual stalkers, but
She really likes Vaughn.
I mean, if you really like him, if you want me to pass along some nudes, I can.
Okay.
Evidently, he likes.
Oh no, news! No. I thought you said news. Sorry.
I mean, you guys heard that.
I thought you said news, like information.
Nude.
No,
So, Molly,
nudes.
what was he? He was doing this 14-hour stream. What was it? Just painting his little model cars, or?
Oh no.
He was being attacked for quite viciously. Actually, it's actually pretty funny.
Actually attacked, or just saying people were attacking him?
Well, his because I was in the hangout with him today in G-Man, and so his interpretation of that was that he was being viciously attacked by a whole bunch of people, and I was the only one there who didn't join in, and I was just kind of staying out of it. I just thought it was funny.
Was
Was
it
that
just
a
like
on
an
there
open
hangout or
serve
off air?
track, or was it like a
It was
Google
Shanny's.
Hangout?
Yeah, it was the StreamYard.
Shamus.
StreamYard hangout, Sandy's. Yeah.
But the best part is, Drag. So he had banned me from chat, right? So after I went in, he was like, "Oh, I don't trust you, Molly. I don't trust you." Well, towards the end, he was like, "Molly, are you going?"
God damn, what's going on with your mic?
Drag. Drag.
He was saying, "Molly,
Molly,
are you
you're
going?
holding
Are
the
you
mic.
gonna?"
Molly,
Oh.
you're holding the phone funny.
Sorry, he was saying.
That's better.
Hang on.
It's
He
night
was
and
like,
day.
"Molly, are you going to let them do this to me? Molly, do you agree with what they're doing?" Yeah, and I said, "Well, you're the one with the power. I mean, you can. I mean, chatted me for 2 hours." And he's like, well, I. But yeah, it was quite funny.
So has he fixed his whole Discord thing? Is he more active there, or not really?
No, he never was Discord.
Well, he came here. He visited
Yeah, he
us
came
at
here,
one
but
group.
he's never. Yeah,
Right.
he's come in here before and like to Brett King.
Right.
No, he's always been a YouTuber. Before that, he's been all over the fucking place because he gets banned from everywhere. There
Yeah,
used to be a mod. I was a moderator in his server.
yeah, he got really upset when Sock Account brought up uh his mod list from Skyrim.
Oh yeah.
What happened with that? What's that about?
Well, he has some very interesting mods.
Go
You know,
ahead, tell me.
so they have certain mods like
Yes.
milkmaid economy where all the chicks tits grow huge and you can put them in
Right.
these sex machines and milk
Yeah.
them. That has nothing to do with this. I just want to say that. But so the mods that Von Helton has,
Getting kind of
ones-
hot.
the ones that you can actually look it up on Pornhub, is that one's actually really fucking funny. Like it's incredibly. Someone sat down and thought about this. So the ones that Vaughn has let you have sex with your followers, which not a huge deal. Some of them are pretty hot. Okay, cool. Some of them.
Sorry, say that again because I was paying attention to
Okay.
something that Barn posted. Fucking asshole. Say that again.
So okay, so in the game Skyrim, right? Elder Scrolls, you
Yeah.
can have female followers, yada yada yada, and there's a mod that lets you have sex with them. Not a huge deal, right? Sure, why not, right? Bend her over, fucker. You can special dialogue options, nothing too crazy, except he has mods, and this in the way that they're arranged in this particular order makes it strange because the mod to allow children to be your followers is next to the mod that lets you fuck your followers, right? Really, really suspicious, really suspicious. Not to mention there are definitely other mods there that allow you to have sex with animals. In fact, there was one forum post that was found where he was trying to give some constructive feedback to the guy who made or gal who made the mod to let you have sex with horses, that the mayor's vaginas didn't look realistic enough. And
Guys, I'm going to bed. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night, Helena.
Good night, Helena.
So I don't. My wife's PlayStation just activated. I guess mayor's vagina was a keyword, but so he was actually complaining that the mayor's vaginas were not realistic enough, and you have to think about something. Now I've played Skyrim, right? I've never stopped to look at the horse vaginas. I didn't even know they had vaginas. But how often do you have to see a real horse's vagina to even notice that? You know? So
I've seen it several times.
Stop.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure. But yeah, so he has a whole host of mods that are.
Oh, and then
Okay,
the
so
one that was quite funny
so-
though was he was going back and forth because he could not get the dog to lick his ass.
That was in Fallout. So that was a Fallout mod that he had, where your companion dog meat would not properly lick his ass, and so he was complaining to the person who made the mod that he couldn't get the ass licking to work. This is in Fallout.
So come forward to last night. Sock then addresses him about the mod.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Sock account
And
has
what
a
ensued then?
Oh,
What? Yeah.
so Vaughn's defense is that he was a beta tester for these mods. Like he just indiscriminately just goes out and he tests them and gives them feedback.
Mhm.
Now
Right.
the issue is that he is downloading and commenting on these mods 3 years after they've been released.
Right.
So that was kind of the issue there.
Yeah. Good excuse.
So that's I mean he just kind of started deflecting after
Very
that.
nice.
No, it was quite funny because he's like, Molly, let me explain.
Well, Molly, don't you accept that he likes having the dogs lick his ass?
Well, I didn't understand because I'm not familiar with.
Is she breaking up for y'all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Molly, get off the Walmart internet.
Nope.
What?
You're still
Robot.
roboting, Molly.
Tom, did you read the message that I sent you yesterday or this morning?
Let me check.
Joan, where are you? You're offline. What the heck? He's not even in here.
Oh fuck.
Molly, are you back?